The Fate of Heroes, starring Patrick, Devin, Rob, Tamara, and John as the Game Master.
Welcome back to The Fate of Heroes, and let's start by introducing our players, starting with, let's start with Rob.
Hey guys, I'm Rob and I play Alex.
And Webby.
Hey guys, I'm Webby and I play Lincoln Palmer.
And Tamara.
Hi, I'm Tamara. I play a very hungover Leelui and Jacob.
And Devin.
What's up, y'all? I play CJ. And I also play Saif.
And here we go. All right, so last week, you guys entered into what seems like medieval France. There's a small disease going around, and you entered a town which appears to be controlled by the English. And you met someone named Gerald, and Gerald has just said something about ancient texts and the fact that asked you what you know about Anua.
Wrong, John. You missed a vital part of what happened last episode.
You have little children torturing Leelui.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Cool. There's that too, I guess.
I knew he wasn't right.
Anywho, moving on. Anua.
I'm just going to groan. As soon as he says that word, I'm going to be like, dang it, Jerry. And I'm just
Collectively, I'm going to do the same thing. Collectively.
Maybe he can get us home.
How do you know about that word, buddy?
I've read the texts. They were handed down to me by my grandfather.
Who's your grandfather?
Never mind.
Merton.
You're not one, right? You're not one of them?
Are you?
What kind of person answers a question with a question, Jerry?
An Anua.
What kind of person answers a question of a question with another question?
With another question. Yeah. See, it's working.
Lincoln.
Lincoln? Well, a kind of a person who isn't really prepared to talk in public or otherwise with people that he doesn't know.
You brought us here. You brought it up.
Can we see the text?
You brought us here. You brought it up. Since you're really dodgy, I'm going to guess you are an Anua. What's your power, Jerry?
Power.
Calling you out.
I don't
Gift?
have a
Ability?
power.
What makes you stand out in a crowd?
The fact that I know things. How about that?
Knowledge. Great. Useless.
How
Can
about
we see the books?
The last time I saw them, I was on crusade about 150 years ago.
Oh, crud.
150 years ago. So you live forever.
He's an Anua.
No, I don't live forever. I just live a longer life.
See? Special power. Never thought about that? You never realized most people in this time period probably die in their 30s? If they're lucky?
That's why my name has changed a few times, friend.
Were you looking for the Holy Grail?
No. I was not looking for the Holy Grail. That's some myth that religious people bring up.
Are you one of the musketeers?
What's
Wrong
a musketeer?
time period.
Oh,
1600s.
Sorry.
He looks at you and basically says, "Look, I'm headed to England soon. I've been asked to meet with one of our own and see if we are a match. Because part of the role, as you should know if you knew about this, is that we have to keep some of us around to protect them.
Who is us?
The remaining Anua. Which, again, shouldn't you know this? Since you seem to know all of these terms. It's not exactly something that we go blasting around anymore.
Wait, you
Most
have
of
more
this is
Anua-
forgotten when we're from.
Wait, there are more Anua here?
Not around here. But definitely there are more Anua in the world, yes.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I got one living inside of me. But
Yes, Jacob, they are ignoring us.
Why don't you just tell them all our secrets?
He
it's my
looks over
secret
at
to tell and
Leelui.
keep, sir.
He looks over at Leelui and says, "What do you want to know?"
Well, where did you lose the text?
We were attacked by the Saracens and kicked out of the country. You know, the Holy Land. We lost it.
We gotta go back to Jerusalem, guys.
I wouldn't bother. The Saracens will kill you on sight.
Nah.
Look, there's probably something around here we need to fix, and then we'll be out of your hair.
We gotta find the text.
No, I don't think that's what it is, Leelui.
Fine.
It's usually localized in whatever area we pop into.
Pop into? What exactly are you doing here?
Things.
Trying to get home is what we're doing.
Home to where?
Home. Duh.
Across the ocean.
How do you know about that?
'Cause it's home.
I don't think you people are home there.
Listen, Jerry, we've gone through this with enough people. I don't know how much more blood I can bleed out of my eyes and nose. Let's just wrap this up to, we are from the future. We got shot to the past. We're trying to get back to the future.
And across the ocean. It kind of seems to be stuck here.
He looks at you all and says, "The future? How can you be back here?"
We got sent back. We've been back way further than this. This is the closest to actual home that we've been so far in our timeline history thing.
Alex holds his hands out. That's why we're dressed like this.
Yeah, you guys actually have dates.
Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. That's fascinating.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Now, one thing you should know about the Annual is that they messed with our DNA, so the rest of us have, even though we're not Annual, we have Annual-like abilities now.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Pretty much, I mean, Richard is married to my sister. So, you know, if you're from the future, I think by this point it's pretty endemic. That's why there's so many survivors of this plague. Because otherwise it would have wiped y'all out.
He just called us y'all. He is an Anua. Yeah.
You all.
All.
Anyway.
Either way, he said all of us, not us. He's Anua. Why the heck am I so smart suddenly?
Go
Something's
home,
wrong
you're drunk,
here.
Leelui.
Listen, Jerry, has this plague hit England yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's hit most of Europe at this point. That's why the
That's
war
cool.
has more or less stopped.
Everyone's
Because
dead, Jim.
They're all
Jim.
burying their dead.
Everyone's dead.
And they're doing it wrong, but I can't change what they're doing. They're convinced it's air that's causing the problem. And they're not fully wrong, but they're not fully right.
In the air tonight.
The worst part is when they started burning the Jews.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
Looking for someone to blame.
Gotta have your scapegoat.
That whole situation gets worse too. Eventually.
I blame Jerry.
Gerald looks at you and he says, look, we're just trying to stay out of the way. We're not trying to influence things. We're not going back, to my knowledge, in the past and trying to change things.
That's good. Glad to see the annual aren't pretending to be gods anymore.
Apparently, however, some of you are.
We're
Wasn't me.
gods?
Well, first off, what have you been doing other than passing out Egyptian money to kids?
Said we were entertainers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, but
there
you
was,
said you came from the past. What were you doing in the past?
Trying to
Mostly.
get home. Were you not listening?
I was listening to that part. What I'm talking about is, have you changed the past?
We would never do that.
now hold on, Jerry.
We're not time meddlers.
If
Uh-huh.
say we did change the past, Jerry,
Mm-hmm.
how would you know? Because it would be
Your past.
your past.
Indeed, you're correct. I have
So-
no way of knowing. However, the wise one would.
No.
Wait,
Well-
wait.
Wait.
There's a wise one?
Is there a wise one here?
No, I just said if I was able to speak to the wise one, she would know.
That's not what you said.
That's
You
all
said the wise one would know.
Well, she would. Or he.
You're lying.
Maybe. I'm not
Can
going to
we
tell
roll
you
for-
everything I know.
Can we roll for lies?
You can roll to see if you can figure out what he is trying to hide. There you go.
Can I roll to have
Specifically,
Jacob read
if
his mind?
Jacob wants to try and read his mind.
Leelui don't suffer no liars.
That's nice. I'm glad.
Clever, right?
Yep.
All right. Ah, womp womp. Well, that failed.
Nah.
That was a 1.
Well, I haven't rolled yet, so you never know. It might succeed still.
Doubtful.
No, he's going to have like a +5 to lie.
To lie. Yep, no.
Oh, he had a +6. See, I wasn't off. Wasn't that far off.
Yeah, even if he rolled out minuses, he still would have beat her.
Well, I wasn't going
Jacob
to tell you that.
Yeah. Jacob just gargles in her brain and goes, I'm too tired for this.
Oh, if he tried to go in, it would have been blocked, basically.
Yeah.
He did tell you his brain is his power. He looks at all of you and says, try to keep out of trouble. I realize you're trying to get home, but try to keep out of trouble. He stops
Believe me.
and stares at Leelui.
We try
That's the
everywhere
best
we
joke
go.
I've heard in forever.
It's not always possible.
And her hair's going to return to multicolored because she lost constipation.
Oh, Lord. He looks at you. What is that? He
That's
points at her
my-
head.
She's going to
That's
pull a
her
lock
natural
down.
hair color.
Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Ugh. You guys are just looking to get burned, aren't you?
No,
Hey, they got to catch me first.
Well, what can I do for you all?
Help us get home.
How am I supposed to do that?
Is there a problem that you've encountered recently that we might be able to help you with?
Well, I was going to say, have you seen the dead people? But you can't help with that. I don't
We
think
already
that's
said
a
Clem-
wise
Leelui
thing.
can make 1,000 cats. I said this already.
And that,
Changing
we already told you
the
cleanse it with
past.
5. Cleanse it with fire.
Yeah, I know how to do it. They don't.
Well,
Well,
spread the-
I can't spread the word. That's the whole point. That's our mission. Stay out of the way.
Well, usually we need an annual to point the way. We lost ours somewhere in time, so we need another one. Maybe you.
Let me think about it. I'll see if there's something I can think of. It's been a long time since I read those books. And definitely a long time since I talked to anything over and above that. But I can say this. The Wise One forewarned me that there may be things coming that we don't know about.
That's us. We'll just say it's us. It's probably us.
It's a safe
Well,
bet.
Just be careful. The War of Britain's... what's it called? My name for this thing just went out of my head. Why did it do that? Sorry, 1 second. The War of Britain's succession has been ugly. And
Who's winning so far?
oh, the English. Only because they've been lucky, and the French have been stupid, and Charles got himself captured, so, yeah.
I'm going to look at Lilo.
I look at Alex.
I look at Leelui, and I say, Lilo, you've been a walking history book the past few minutes. Well, which side's supposed to win here?
And does good old Charlie get captured?
Leelui.
What?
I facepalm.
I was staring at the pretty windows. What?
Listen, who wins the war? Who's supposed to win this secession war?
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Oh my!
How would I know?
Look, if you guys want passage to England or somewhere, I can get you over there. I can't get you farther than that. They haven't gone that far yet. Well, not officially. There might be a few fishermen I can point you at.
Is there a roll I can make to try to recall if I've ever learned anything about this particular war?
Okay, because it's
same.
Lincoln, a clever roll it is. Only because it's Lincoln.
1.
1. Well, you've heard of something called the 100 Years' War. You know it roughly is in this time period. You know it was between Britain and France over French territory. And you know that there's a place called France which doesn't have any Britain in it.
Okay. And Britain, he just said Britain's winning right now?
Mm-hmm.
I look at Alex. I say, that's easy. We just got to kick Britain's butt. Get them out of France. They're in France?
You're in France currently, yes. Well, Brittany, which isn't, I guess, officially a part of France at the moment.
But has Britain invaded you guys already?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
what the big battle was about a couple of years back.
Yeah, we need to fix that. That needs to go the other way, I guess.
He kind of looks at you guys and he's like, right, okay, hang on, cool your jets.
You got better answers?
That's
We're looking
a very
for problems
modern
to solve.
terminology.
I don't know that we could fight an entire war, Lincoln.
Wait, Jerry, how do you know what jets are?
Here, come here. Look, my brother runs this place, so I got some access, shall we say. Come with
To
me.
jets?
Not to jets.
In the 1300s?
He looks at you like you're insane. Just follow me.
No, I
Come here.
agree with Leelui in this one.
First of all, for the player's understanding of things, he is speaking French, and you are hearing it in your tongue. So you may hear words come out of my mouth, which this guy isn't saying. So, colloquialisms. So there's that.
Nice
Start with.
cover-up, John. Nice
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll give you that. That was a good workaround as a
Thank you.
DM. I like that.
Okay, that's good. Now,
He said something like "slow down your horse-drawn carriage," and it
yes,
translated to
exactly. Yep. He then goes back behind the font and comes back around and he says, "Here, come with me. I'll take you downstairs."
I walk. Okay, yeah, I follow.
Okay. So he brings you to a passage that's just on the other side of this wall. It had been closed off, but you can see that it when the door is closed, it would look indistinguishable with the rest of the wall.
Nice.
And then he takes you down some stairs, which goes underneath the church and into the basement area. And at the end of that, on a table, is an object which you guys have seen before. It is 2 feet in height, about 6 inches in width, and is pure white and has a glow to
time
it.
disc.
And he says, "This is the only thing we were allowed to smuggle out. We can't get into it, but occasionally she'll answer questions. We can try. Are you willing to try?"
I don't know how these things
I'm gonna-
work. I was honestly hoping it was a helper bot.
I'm going to turn and look to Lincoln and say, I mean, I can ask it questions, but you might have a better chance. As far as I know, the time disk is timeless, so there's a version of Zoe in there somewhere.
All right. Can it make me a pizza? I work better when I'm not hungry.
I think that was just the ship. I don't think the time disk can do that.
All right.
You haven't done your
Here.
usual. Go teach them how to make pizza.
Jerry, do they know how to make pizza here?
He looks at you, says, "I don't 100% know what pizza is, but by description, because he assumes you described it, there
Should be in
are
the history books because
similar
I taught some
things."
people how to make it.
No, not really.
Well, I remember teaching those Egyptians how to make
Oh,
it.
you taught them. That doesn't mean they got
Yeah.
passed down.
Why would they not pass down some heavenly gift like pizza? Yeah, you
well,
heard. I slapped Jerry, and then I turned.
well, he looks at you and says, "Some of it. I've seen the Italians eating it. I'll just put it that way. When we were
All right,
overseas.
I need a pizza. Have somebody go get me a pizza. Best that they can muster.
I'm going to look at Lincoln and say, don't treat Jerry like a Chad.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I'm not sending Jerry to go make me this pizza. I'm having him go find somebody to make me this pizza.
Jerry looks at you and says, "Do you want me to help you, or do you want me to go get this ingredient of food?"
Ooh, that's a tough call, Alex.
Why don't we find the kids later and they can go find you a pizza?
I don't trust those kids. Those kids were shifty. I'll just do this on an empty stomach, I guess.
Why don't we
All
just
right.
simply draw you?
Show me how this is done.
Wow, I didn't think it was that old. Okay. Right. So he says, "Typically I just try and speak to it. Sometimes she comes out. She's kind of indecisive, I guess is the way I would put it. Go ahead and give it a try."
I'm going to step up to it, and I'm going to put my hands on it. I'm going to close my eyes, and then I'm going to talk to it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, "What's up? Are you in there?"
It glows briefly for those of you watching, where there's, like at the edge of it, sort of towards the bottom, there's like a little blue line, and that kind of glows for a second, and then hums out to where it was previously. And then a figure stands in front of you.
My eyes are closed. I don't see it.
Yes, I know. I'm describing this for everybody else.
Okay.
She's about 5'5". She has dark hair. For CJ and Alex, it will obviously be look very similar to Zoe. To Leelui, it looks like a very young version of the person she knows. And she looks at you all and says, "Lincoln, open your eyes."
Hi, potential future great-grandmother-in-law. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, nice. Okay,
What do
so
you-
first and foremost, you're not going to arrest me, right?
She's
She
in a time disc, silly.
puts her
She's
hands out and waves at you and says, "As far as I know, Lincoln, we haven't even met yet."
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Anyway, do you have any clue or any kind of nudge that you can point us in the right direction on how to make the next jump in our journey? And hopefully, it will be our last jump home.
Also, Alex tips up, and also if we've caused any rifts or changes to the past with our
Yeah, I
presence.
guess that's probably an important thing too. So that way you don't have to arrest me, and the other things don't have to happen.
She kind of taps her forehead and she says, "Well, according to the others, I would say that, well, while pizza wasn't a terribly popular option, the Romans did pick it up. So maybe you had some influence?"
What? Not what? Not popular? What?
It wasn't considered good enough for people to continue to use when you introduced it, Lincoln.
I'm gonna look at Alex. I'm gonna say that was Egypt, right? When I did that.
And in the Mediterranean, in Urdu.
Oh, Urdu. That's where it was. The Mediterranean. Okay. Note to self: never go in there again.
There doesn't exist anymore.
So
That's
not a
good.
problem. She looks at you all and says, "To this point, you've been lucky. You haven't created any actual anomalies yet."
Not for lack of trying on their part. I did nothing.
I'm gonna look shocked and say, on our parts.
The
You're
ponies
the one making
was a
giant
little bit
purple
much.
octopuses who row with giant battle axes.
You created giant purple dinosaurs in Egypt.
They all disappeared.
Excuse me? I seem to remember there was a story about a unicorn that was still existing in China for a few years past any existence of any such animal.
Unicorns are part of mythology.
Her lips compress. She looks at you and says, "You know, why do I get the feeling that we've had this discussion before?"
Never. It's all your imagination.
Leelui, you're grounded. Go to your room.
I don't have a room.
Your room currently is CJ's shoulder, so just stay there.
That's a weird room.
Yeah.
Climb into CJ's head with Saif.
I don't think CJ would appreciate that much having two new voices in there.
Wait, can you draw around CJ's ear just one of those black portal holes and then just crawl into his head? That'd be trippy.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like
Don't
that
tempt
idea.
her. Don't give her ideas.
You know, Lilo, I bet that's the one thing you can't do.
Oh, well, now that's a
Ooh.
challenge.
And
But
if
I'm
she
gonna
Saif-
successfully does it, I'm going to show you the 58 things I can do to you.
I was just gonna say, I'm Saif's a full annual. I'm pretty sure you can just kick her back out again.
I'm just going to turn back to the time disc.
Now, at this point, Zoe is she has blue edging. She looks like Star Wars hologram sort of thing. And
Save me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.
She looks at you and chuckles a bit and says, "So, what did you think you were going to do here?"
Oh, I don't know. I thought
The English out of France, but I don't think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
They don't need your help. They'll screw it up themselves.
Okay.
It'll take the better part of another 70, 80 years, but they'll screw it up themselves. So don't worry about them.
Okay. So what are we supposed to do?
Well, I can't tell you everything.
Okay, but you haven't even given us like a hint yet all you've told us so far is not that.
Well, that's a hint, and I told you your pizza didn't make it as far as you hoped.
No, that was answering Alex's question about time anomalies.
Well,
things.
I think you're pausing between places because of your inability to focus. And I think if you focus better, using all of your powers, it might give you an opportunity to actually get back.
Is Jerry a key part in teaching us how to focus better?
She walks over to Gerald and says, Gerald is, let's just say he's keeping the flame alive while it's needed. He's not fully versed in everything, but he might be able to help you get farther down the road. And certainly closer to where you need to be.
See, Jerry, told you. We need to work together and stuff.
And she smiles at that. She looks over at you all and she kind of grins and says, you got a long ways to go from what I understand, but you'll get there. And if you need anything, I'm sure there'll at least be someone along the way who can help you. Sorry I'm being vague, but I kind of have to be. It's not good to fiddle too much with all this knowledge.
Well, I'll tell you this much. The second we get back to our own time, I'm going to forget all about this willingly.
She walks over, she pats you on the shoulder, although you don't feel it. She says, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
You've got lots to think about when you get home. At least that's what I'm telling you.
Can you tell us what's going on back home? Like, is everyone okay? Everything going along all right?
That would be a no.
I can't officially tell you much, but I can tell you that certain people have returned who you once thought dead. And not the good kind.
Crap, there's zombies running around?
She smiles over at Leelui and says, you've never met this person.
That doesn't mean they're not a zombie.
They're
you didn't
not a
answer my
zombie.
question. Okay.
They're not a zombie. It's not The Walking Dead, dear. It's all right.
Now,
The Walking Dead.
Never mind.
if we were to eliminate, say, the family tree of the people who returned, would that change things?
Would it? Yes. The question is how.
For the better?
Depends on the word better.
Alright, we'll just deal with it the old-fashioned way when we get home.
Probably for the best. I mean, I've heard it said that there are groups out there that are not happy with people popping back in time, but I don't know much about that.
He just doesn't want to be my great-grandpa-in-law.
Well,
actually, it pretty much sounds to me like I don't think you want me to be your great-grandpa-in-law.
You were grumpy first.
Zoe looks at you and says, my older self says you were pretty grumpy, if I remember correctly.
Well, your older self is lying.
Wow.
Plus, aren't the people that don't want us popping back in time your older self and the time cops Lincoln told us about?
Who are you directing that at this point?
Zoe.
I'm going to start... Okay. I'm going to look at Zoe and I'm going to say, was I not supposed to talk about time cops?
It probably would have been better, but
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start looking for an off button on this time disk, like a hang up button.
she
And
smiles.
I'm just gonna start going. I'm gonna make crackly noises. I'm gonna say, "Oh,
You
the
break it
connection's
up.
getting real bad," and I'm trying to find an off switch. Can I find one?
No.
I
She
didn't
looks
think
at you. She smiles broadly. She says, "You're as silly as always, you ding dong. I can't wait to see you."
But you're seeing him now.
Well, this version of me is not really me, though. Anyway, until next time, bye. And she
so.
dissipates.
Your way in the world today.
Bye, great grandmother-in-law
God.
potential.
I like how it's starting to become less about potential now. Meanwhile, you're hearing that music, sort of, coming from outside. Squealy, off tune.
Where everybody knows your name.
Gerald looks at you all and says,
Everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came.
all right, look at this is not a musical.
Lincoln looks so happy right now.
And he looks over at you guys and he's like, well, you got more out of her than I've got out of her in a long time. Not that usually she looks like that.
That's because she likes us.
Well, that's because she's his husband and she's my potential future grandmother-in-law, and she's his potential future great mother-in-law. She points at Alex. I think I got that one right.
If Alex isn't starting, then
I don't know. No, why? No, I don't think I'm related. No, you. Is she's your grandmother-in-law? I'm not related to your husband. I'm related to you.
I rip off a very small piece of cloth from whatever it is I'm wearing.
Stick it up
and
his
I just
nose.
stick it up one of my nostrils. And I look at Jerry and I just say, precautionary.
He nods. He's like, so it sounds like you need my help to get farther. I'll put my thinking cap, as it were, on.
Well, let me help you out with that. I point at Leelui. I say, she can pretty much do anything. She can draw on paper. I point at CJ. I say, he can pretty much do anything. I point at Alex. I say, he can do anything that involves, like, time. And I'm just fast. What can you work with on that?
Well, hopefully, with some calculations, I can try and steer you in a more linear direction.
Do that.
Indeed. In the meantime, this is going to take a bit. If you guys want to go visit the city or whatever, you're more than welcome.
Are there a lot of sick people in the city?
Indeed, but be careful what you do.
No,
Wait,
I'd rather just
you're letting
hang out
us
here.
loose in the city.
No.
Well, the village, but yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I know, Jacob. I don't think this guy's very bright either.
I can't have you hovering over my shoulder while I work on this.
Well, I think we should just hang out in the church.
Fine, go upstairs and leave me alone.
Oh, that's rude, Jerry.
I can make you a calculator. That'll make it go faster for you.
Please don't.
Why?
I'm
Just
gonna go out into the village.
Just go.
Bye. And just disappear.
Okay. He wanders over to a desk, pulls out some paper and a quill, and looks back at you all and says, "Go. Just go. I'll tell you when I figured this out."
Leela's gonna hover over his shoulder.
Go.
I can make you a better writing implement that'll make it easier for you than a quill.
Just go. Please.
But I can help!
I see now why you sent the little children after her.
How many blank pieces of paper does he have on his desk?
About 10.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna go look for Alex.
Okay.
Leelu's still standing behind him, swinging her arms and humming.
One moment, please. He stands up. He walks up. He says, "Here, come with me." And
Why?
He takes you upstairs.
My head
Is it-
feels better, by the way.
Oh, that's great. I'm so excited. And
I feel
he-
much better.
he says, "Here, just sit down here. Wait here." And
That's boring.
no.
Can
no,
I
it'll be-
draw on the church walls?
No, let's not do that.
I can make them prettier.
No, let's not do that. I don't think my brother would be very happy if you did that.
Can I draw on the church floor?
No. Here,
Can I draw on the outside of the
Here.
church?
just can you give me 5 minutes and I can sort something out for you?
I can go wander town.
Okay, go do that.
Okie dokie.
He waves her out, kind of semi-pushing her out of the door. Oh,
Should I make my brown hair again?
Yes!
Okie dokie.
And he throws a gray robe at you and says, "Put this on for Pete's sake. Stop being indecent."
But it's boring. Can I make it look prettier?
As long as it's brown or tan, you can make it look prettier.
That's boring.
Go.
Fine.
Ugh. And he kind of smacks his head with his hand, puts it down at his side, rubs his temples for a second, turns around, frustrated, and heads back downstairs. Right. So Alex, I guess I should ask, did CJ go with the rest of them? Okay.
Yep.
Where did you go?
I don't know. I probably would have just started wandering around the part we haven't seen yet, like down here somewhere.
Can we visit the milk cow?
Who are you asking that of? Because it ain't me.
Anybody around me?
Maybe if there's time. First, we're gonna get you some cotton candy and a balloon.
Those don't exist yet. You're being mean.
You can draw them.
He's got a point.
Then I'd be the one getting them, not you getting them.
She's got a point. It's like tennis. Tennis, everyone.
You can draw them. And I'll take them and go back in time a few minutes to before you drew them and then give them to you.
Oh my goodness.
Okie dokie!
Logic according to you two.
Lincoln gives himself a nice solid slap in the face just to make sure that this isn't a dream.
Okay, so this is a fairly large town, or large village / small town. There are a number of different shops and places to visit. There is a market on the south.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would
west.
head towards the tent area because that looks the most interesting.
Okay, so that's the market. As you get to the center of the square, you will see, basically as you arrive, there is a crowd standing around a dais. At the end of the dais, you see a couple of heads roll down the steps, and a gigantic cheer goes up, and the sort of official standing at the top of the steps is like, "And with that we have killed those that have brought the bad air and the sickness to us. May all who worship God fear this day, that there be no more of this." And he steps down, and they start to walk off. You can hear some muttering about curses, and other commentaries, and then the market kind of restarts.
So I'm gonna look over at Lincoln and say, I know we just said that we weren't going to meddle, but do you want to stop that from happening?
That's a bad idea. That's from me.
I mean, Alex, this type of stuff did go on before. It should probably just continue to go on.
Fine. I don't agree, but fine.
I like my head attached to my shoulders.
Leelui, I'm gonna pull out another like a white strip of cloth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk over to Leelui. I'm gonna say, do you have anything yellow? Like, can you color the tip of this yellow, like yellow paint or anything like that? I don't know what you have.
Why?
I just want to have a little fun.
You're gonna cause chaos. That sounds fun. Okay.
Okay. Like a melted crayon, anything. I don't know what you got.
She draws the word yellow on the tip, and it turns yellow.
All right. Is that churchy guy who was making the proclamation still around somewhere?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. He's not a
I'm
churchy
gonna-
guy. He's an official.
Oh. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna ask who decided that the man that they just beheaded was subject to this bad air.
He hands you a sheet of paper, and written in both French and English, or at least a version of English, and a version of French. And he says, "Read it." And you can read it. For you, it just looks like English, both
All right.
entries. And it is by order of the magistrate of the Duke of Brittany.
Right. I'm gonna look at the guy and say, like, do you have like a quota? Like, are you supposed to behead a certain number of these bad air victims a day?
He looks down and says, No. It's
No.
certain types of people have been designated as
Oh.
culprits.
I'm gonna squint, and I'm like looking at like the side of his face, almost kind of now.
And in the background, Alex is huffing even louder now.
I'm gonna say, hey, listen, I'm gonna get really close and like lower my voice so surrounding people can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, dude, I got a little bit of bad news for you, Jack. I don't know what your name is, so I'm just gonna call you Jack. And I quickly move the white cloth up, and I kind of stick it in his ear, and I pull it out, and I show him. I'm like, that's pus. I think you might have gotten some of the bad air. You might want to either lay low or...
His eyes go super wide at that, and he's like, No.
Yeah,
No.
you might want to just make yourself a little scarce, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah,
And
get out of
he-
here.
he
I won't.
runs.
I didn't see anything.
He didn't even say a word. He just bolts
No.
at that.
I just fold up the piece of cloth, just tuck it away and smirk and walk back to Alex.
He'll smile at that. He'll give you a thumbs up, and then he's gonna say, "Look at the paper if you let him."
Oh yeah, I'll hand it off. I probably only half read it.
So does it say, like, it says who the magistrate is? Or
Yes.
or whatever?
Yep.
Think this guy is up in that castle?
Probably.
Hmm.
And if he's the one who decides who's been touched by bad air, we should get behind this bad air thing, because that sounds like a stupid reason. I understand that this like can be an airborne virus and it can whatever, but bad air, they need a better catchphrase or something.
True.
A gentleman who is standing at one of the carts looks over at you both, and he says, "In my day, we called it the plague, but nobody wants to call it that around here."
Exactly. I snap my finger. I give the guy finger guns. I say, "You're a smart man. See, that's what I'd call it too. Not bad air. That sounds stupid."
I kind of agree, but then again, they blame my people for stuff, so I don't say anything.
Well, then it doesn't sound stupid. It sounds like they are stupid. Am I
I
right?
would also agree
I
with
give him a
that.
hidden thumbs up.
He smiles. He says, "Look, you gentlemen, can I offer you something
You sure can. What are you selling?
for your
I
lady
love
friend
buying
there?
stuff.
I got some jewelry."
Oh.
Pretty
well,
shinies?
Indeed,
Nothing
indeed, my lady.
Listen,
You look like a
Nothing-
fine young lass. You need to decorate yourself.
Listen, nothing that jingles.
He looks over at her and says, here's the shiniest things I've got. There's even a bell or two on one of these here.
I quickly take those bells.
Or at least there was a minute ago. Can I offer you anything? And there's various gold and bronze and different hoops and earrings and necklaces and all sorts of things. He's like, this one here, they say it got passed down by Cleopatra herself. Can't speak to it myself, but you know how they say. And
Didn't
then
we
he's
meet
like,
Cleopatra? I look at
No.
Alex.
No. We met Pelka, who was not Cleopatra.
Oh, all right. I don't
and
remember.
then
Hey, where did Pelka go?
She might have fallen off the boat.
I haven't seen her since we were talking to the Celts.
Oh, yeah. Did we leave her there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, well. Pretty shinies.
So
I kind of figured it was like when me and Lincoln went separate ways. Maybe she's gone somewhere else for the time being and she'll be back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look at the shop vendor guy, or I'm gonna say, listen, we're not necessarily from around here, so I don't have too many English marks or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I got some gold coins, all right?
that gold works for me, sir.
So I hand him one gold coin. I say, will this purchase a fair thing on your tray here? A single item?
He squints at it. And he's like, give me a moment, sir. Let me get my alchemist over here.
Oh,
And
boy. All right.
he waves over. George, come here, man. And this guy with a big old wizened beard, and he looks older than dirt, comes over and he's like, can I help you, monsieur? And he says, I need you to test the gold on this. And the old guy looks back and he's like, oh, that's right. Okay, I'll test it for you. It'll only cost you about 3 marks. And he's like, you can take it out of what you owe me for all the things I gives you to test with your chemicals. And he's like, okay. And he wanders away. Comes back maybe 5 minutes later. He says, no, pure gold. This has got to be worth at least a couple 100 marks. And he's like, you probably shouldn't have said that out loud. And takes it. He says, here you go, my lad. You can have anything you want on here.
All right, I hand that gold piece to Leelui, and I say, I'm buying, pick out whatever one you want. Nothing jingly, hopefully. And I
She
walk
picks-
away.
Out the
slowly.
biggest, gaudiest piece that she can find on there.
Okay. He looks at you as you pick it up and he's like, madame, that is lovely. That piece, it is purely the most fantastical thing you've ever seen. I got it when the Crusaders came home. They brought it themselves. It even has a piece of the cross in it, they say. But I couldn't speak to that, me being Jewish and all. But yeah, you can have that for sure. If there's anything else you would like, let me know.
How many more things can I pick out?
Look, I'll cut you a deal, lady. You could own the whole freaking tray if I let you, but if you
Yoink!
like, you
And
can
she
grab...
does. She just gives the entire tray and walks off.
He you see him kind of rub his beard, and he kind of does one of these, like, oh, well. And he pockets the gold coin, smiles to himself, and folds up his tent and everything, and puts all his peddler stuff away, and wanders off.
Leelu's skipping along with an armful of
Loot.
shinies.
Yep.
Loot. She was waiting for him to finish that sentence. No way. She starts draping pieces on the guys.
Oh, dear.
Meanwhile, while they were doing that, is there anywhere that's cooking food or anything in this
Oh, yeah.
area?
Yeah. Oh, this market has like, if you're looking for like a pub, there are definitely those around.
Okay. I'm going to try and find somewhere that's like that has the ingredients to make food, and I'm
Okay,
going
well,
to
that'd be
try
in the
to.
market. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to try and stop time and make a pizza and cook it while they're doing this.
Okay. I would like you to roll me a clever roll, please,
Okay.
as you have no idea how to make one. Oh, wow. Okay. So you do very well. Well, first off, you find somebody who has flatbread, which makes it all that much easier. And you're able to find most of the ingredients fairly quickly. And after a bit of instructions, they get it in and out of the oven fairly pizza-ish. And they hand it back to you.
Cool. So then while they're gathering up the shiny stuff, I'm going to say, lunch, guys?
My eyes go wide.
I just see Lincoln's eyes just shining away.
I do like that old cartoon wolf thing where it's like I just follow the smell trail with my nose and my eyes closed. Like I smell the pizza, start floating towards it.
Nice. All right. So you float towards the pizza, and you notice that your jewelry merchant is gone. And that Leelui is decked out in various pieces, as
And
are
just
you.
draping bits on everyone.
Wait, I am too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't see this coming.
And yeah, so you have a good old time and have your pizza, and it tastes pizza-ish. And with that, I think we're going to have to end it there for today. So, let's start with Devin. Where can we find you online?
You guys can find me at DMP_Pookie on Twitter and on Twitch at PooKilledMe.
And Tamara.
You can find me at Dance on the Abyss on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and, well, pretty much everywhere.
And Webby.
You guys can find me on Twitter at JacksForceWalker, all one word. Then you caught me while I ate a cracker.
He's eating pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Pizza. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Method actor.
That's right. That's the best one. And Rob.
You can find me at ConfessorX on Twitch and at Confessor_X on Twitter.
And you can find me at LinsteadDM on both Twitter and Twitch. And you can find everything we do at facebook.com/Fate of Heroes as far as this podcast goes. And you can find everything else we do and all the other content we provide at distractionsmedia.com. Until next time, everyone. Bye.
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 Yeah.
This has been a Distractions Media production. For more information, you can check out everything we do at distractionsmedia.com.